What's good? We back. Boxing with more all sports topic video. You know what we do. We in the building. Talking about child discipline. How should you discipline your child? It's the parent's prerogative, in my opinion. Sometimes you just go a little bit too far. Small child, you shouldn't be beating a small child. You know, pop on the wrist. That's all they need, or he or she needs. But you know, it's different ways to child discipline. But you know, some ways we're out though. A lot of people don't understand that. You know, it just comes to a certain age and a certain time in the child's life and the parent's life that you gotta know your kid. You gotta know what type of discipline that they need. Of course, you got punishments where you take everything away, and sometimes that works. And I think when a child makes a major mistake the first time, or a mistake, whatever it may be messing up in school or cussing or whatever it may be that you're trying to get them to stop the doing and straighten up, I think talking to them first, seriously sitting down with them first is very key. And letting them understand, like, this ain't what we doing. Go back to doing what you're doing. I ain't gonna do nothing now. Depending on the seriousness of what he done or she done. You say, talk about it. But they come back and make that same mistake twice, then you got to strike like they made the same mistake 1,000 times because you let it slide. But it's called mental warfare. All right, I know, but you in the back of your mind as a parent, or whoever you discipline, that your child, if he gonna make that, she or she gonna make that mistake again. So I warned you. Now I gotta mess you up. Or I gotta take deep precautions. Once you had that talk, that's like skipping, strike one and going straight to strike three. So it's kind of setting them up. Like, all right, do it again. I'm gonna mess you up. And then how I feel about beating a kid. After a while, beatings don't work no more. Understand why you beat them while you're younger. Yeah, sometimes they do stuff you gotta beat them. But not take it too far. You gotta know when enough is enough. When it's too much, too much. I understand some beating on me and whatever it is. But at a certain age, a kid get hard to that. They get immune to beatings. Yeah, they still might cry, but they be like, well, I'll just take the beating. They ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just go ahead and do what I do. I already know the consequences. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, you're not really doing that. After a while, beatings wear off. Kids are used to it. Children, teenagers get used to it. All right, I've been getting beat for 5, 6, 10 years, 12 years now. It is what it is. I'm used to it. So basically, you got to find the other different angles. Take the car, take the TV, stuff like that. And after a while, stuff like that stop working. So, what I prefer is this. Most kids don't like to get out the house, right? What I do is, my daughter, nephews, nieces, whatever it may be, get out of line with me. We going to the track. And what made me think about this video before I go any further was the mother that told the boys to go to bed. And she made them squat and put their hands out. Now, in middle school, my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Dedman, he made me do that. Cherry Hill Performance Arts School in Inkster, Michigan. He made me do that. What on different is you squat down, you put your hands out. He had us holding like 2 or 3 textbooks. And we was like, man, I never messed up in his class again. Because it was the burn. It was the workout. And with the kids today, I make them run. Man, my daughter, she did something bad. I can't remember I remember what it was, but I ain't gonna put business out there like that. I made her run. Probably never run 2 miles in her life, but I made her run. And if she couldn't do it, you run the straightaways and you walk the rounds around the track. And then I made her bear crawl up and down Southfield High School, track. The mom was like, oh, it's enough. Ain't enough. She crying and she tired, but at the end of the day, it benefited her in several ways. It benefited her physically. It benefited her mentally, and she stopped messing up, and everything started falling into place for them. But after a while, you got to give them a reminder. They start to slip and forget. Beatings is okay. After a certain time, they wear off. Like I said, you take the talk approach. Sometimes you got to talk it out and let them know. Sometimes you got to go to DEFCON 20,000 and put them into a military school or send them away or do something serious. But after a while, you have to change up the punishment. That's my point here. You just can't beat your kids your whole life and expect them to get good. They're going to get used to it. You can't just talk to them. You can't just pop them on the wrist. You can't just, talk everything out. Sometimes you really got to sit down and switch up the punishment. Not disciplining your kids is terrible. You have to. Because when you go out, they go out here in the real world, they gonna feel like they're not gonna get disciplined out here. So you rather you discipline your kids before life does. Before the police does, before the whatever authority it is does. So you got to take it serious. You can't ignore the issues they doing with now. The earlier you catch these issues and straighten them out, the better it will be. You know, and switch up the punishment. You can't beat kids for 15, 18 years, man. You know, that's just not right. It's not going to work. You know, you got to switch up the game. But let me know what y'all think about child discipline. We gone.